We're going to get coffee, and we're going to do an early talk at 2. I've got stuff that we need to discuss. So, as you can see by the title of the video, it's imperative that we talk about the big, beautiful bill this morning. So, we're going to get coffee, and then we're going to talk about this. Sorry, I was recognized, and you know how people are when they recognize me, they start blaring music. So, yeah. Give me a second. We're going to be at the coffee shop. I honestly don't know if I can even ride the bike, but we're going to see in a minute. I think I need caffeine first. Oh, my arm. I can barely move it. So, I was in a major accident Sunday night. Sunday night, I was in a major accident. I was probably going about 20 miles an hour and hit the concrete at full speed. I have road burn up the entire side of my left side. I have like 20 something open wounds. It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So today's the first day that I've been able to actually walk. Yeah, you heard me. I haven't been able to walk. It's crazy to me because I know that people don't get outside because people don't even understand what I just went through. Oh, God. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to be in an accident like that and people not understand, like, it's because they don't go outside. I get it. I get it. First of all, let me start with, it's a miracle that I'm even alive. What I went through on Sunday night could have killed me. Number two, this is not my first rodeo, so I'm glad that I grew up during a time where we were outside and we were playing and we were active and we got hurt. We dealt with it. We got over it. The amount of people in my comments telling me to go to the ER was, I think, the most concerning part. I hope some of y'all never fall down because you're not going to make it if you do. After a major accident like that, whether it's a BMX incident, car crash, where you're like physically inside the car, the best thing that you can do is rest, sleep, rest, food and water. That's what's going to help you heal. That's what I've been doing. Although as the days go on, I realize how badly injured I am. My whole right knee is completely bruised. And I hit the ground hard, homie. I hit that shit so hard. Oh, and I bounced like a ping pong ball. Oh, God. When I got up, y'all, look, this is me when I got off the ground. Hold on. I didn't have my book bag on. I took my book bag off, and I was going on this like course where you can go up and come down, and it's this deep hill, right? So as I'm going on the down part, right before you get to the down part, there's like this concrete where I can jump in. So I decided to jump it, and I kept jumping it, and then the very last turn, very last go around, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it one more time. And I actually thought to myself, I was like, I should set up a camera. And then I was like, I'm too lazy, I'm tired, I've been working out all day. Very last turn, I go up, and I called air, and when I called air, before I even landed, I knew I messed up, because where I was about to land was like this sandy dirt, and I was going so fast that my front tire hit the ground before my back tire, and it freaking just flung it around. Bro, I knew it was bad before I even hit the ground. But when I got off the ground, my toe was hurting more than anything. So I'm like, I'm stumbling around. I'm seeing stars, okay? If you know, you know. I see stars, and I'm like literally just trying to find my breath. I'm like, what in the world? You know, you can't think. You don't know which way to go. You're really just pacing in circles trying to get the stars to stop, okay? So I'm just standing there trying to figure out which way to go. And my big toe, the toe next to my big toe really hurt. I thought maybe I'd broken a toe. I looked down and I got blood all over my thighs. I'm like, oh my God, where's the blood coming from? One of my 20-something wounds. So I took the skin plumb off the knuckles. If you can see, it actually flattened it out. There's usually a hump there. But as you'll see, I'm missing the skin, so there is no hump. The whole top of it got ate off. That's pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah. And then these two, when I hit the ground on this is sprained. These two fingers are sprained. I have no grippy grip. Then this one took the skin plumb off. This hand is completely eaten up. It looks like I put it in a meat grinder. And then, of course, the elbow which is the worst, and I've got that covered. And then this. And then I've got road rash there. Road rash up there. Road rash down my thigh. My kneecaps. And my other leg has a major cut on it, and that's the one that's bruised. So I guess when I hit... Oh, and my Apple Watch is completely shattered. It completely shattered. It's in a million pieces. Yeah, I guess when I hit pretty hard, honey. You know. I mean, I ain't mad about it. I guess I'm more mad that, like, I didn't film it. That's what I'm mad about, because I thought about putting up a camera 5 minutes before I made that jump. It's crazy. I hate that for me. This is the first time I've tried to get on the bike. Let's see. Oh, that's a mud puddle. I ain't going in there. Oh, go on, buddy. Oh. They might have all music over here. If they do, I'll have to... Oh, cut that off. Yeah. Ow. Yeah, I hurt. Oh. Yeah, it definitely hurt. Yeah, I hit the ground so hard. I got up. I was like, oh my God. And then I thought my toe was broke. And then I looked down and I see this blood everywhere. I mean, my lap, I had it on my face. I was like, oh my God, I've done it now. What's bleeding? And I can't see my elbow right there, nor can I feel it. My elbow never hurt. It still don't hurt. The road rash on my upper arm hurts 10 times worse than the road rash. And that gash, That gash is gnarly. If you've seen the video, bro, that is a gnarly ass gash, okay? Gnarly ass gash. Yeah, when I got off the ground, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what in the world? That ain't shit, though. I didn't break no bones. We're doing good. I've come off jumps and broke bones before. I broke a collarbone, ribs. Listen, it's fine. You know what happened? I didn't have enough momentum. If I would, that would have never happened. Oh, you know what? I bet they're closed today. No, they're not. Let's go in here. Good morning, y'all. Sorry. I'm going to read those in just a second. We are going to have a blessed day. Yo, that's like a guy. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's cute. They actually have a lot of really cool ones. Like the doors, Hendrix, the stones. I see a lot of like bands right here. Super cute. It's a beautiful little spot. I always have a great time being in here. As you can hear by the music, they play good music too. Those feathers are so pretty. That's crazy. Those are peacock feathers. Isn't that just amazing the way that those grow like that? I got this guy in here. He's not drinking coffee or whatever. He's just sitting here. It's kind of weird because y'all, people are weird. Maybe he works there or something. I ain't never seen him. It was kind of weird. It's like, well, let's go here. You know? See if I can find a bench. Coffee. Oh, shoulder. Hurt shoulder. Oh, hurt hand. I think that's the worst one right there, man. I ain't never dang. It's right in the opening. It's still not completely closed, so I got to watch it. I've got Neosporin and all that stuff, of course. $30 worth. Do you know how expensive? Listen, don't even get me started. I'm just going to cry. I mean, thank God I didn't lose a finger or a limb or break nothing. I couldn't afford to damn go to the hospital. I could barely afford damn a wound kit, you know? Barely could afford that. $30 for some Neosporin pain relief and Band-Aids. $30. All right, let's see here. Good morning, y'all. Hello, Mr. Burberry. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. A lot worse. Hello, Eric Barlow. Good morning, y'all. I want to talk about this big, beautiful mess this morning. Sucks. You know, Elon Musk and Trump had a major, I don't want to call it a falling out, but they definitely had words. Damn it, it's wet. They had words over this big, beautiful bill, right? Elon said that it was going to be a disaster, that it was one of the worst things that we could do economically as a country, that the big, beautiful bill was a big, beautiful mistake, and that we shouldn't do it. That was one of the reasons that Trump and Elon kind of had a little squabble. They had a squabble. Y'all, here we go. It's too early. I got it. I found it. Water. I don't want to sit down on my skirt. So that was one of the many things that they were having, well, one of the few things that they were having a squabble over. Y'all, I'm a mess. My leg is bruised. It hurts. It's all right. Cheers. I ain't even had a sip of this yet. The Mad Bean. Love that place. We're all mad here. Love that place. Double shot of espresso latte. So it's a small latte, but it's double the espresso. Damn, that's good. I don't know where they get their beans from, but they have not raised their prices. Damn it. Oh, I'm so sorry. They don't call me Clumsy Clark for nothing. Sorry. They haven't raised the prices of their coffee yet. Unfortunately, coffee is one of the items that's really been hit. Folgers coffee has went up close to 100%. I saw one short where a girl had bought the big tin. I think it's like a pound or maybe more. It's their biggest, largest tin of Folgers coffee. She had bought it for $11 3 years ago, and she went to go buy a new one day before yesterday or whatever when I saw this short, and it was over $20. So coffee is one of the things that's actually going to be hit pretty hard because of the tariffs, and we're already seeing that taking place. Everything, slowly but surely, the prices are starting to creep up, and it's probably going to get pretty bad before it gets better. I don't think that most Americans understand how the tariff taxes work. I personally am not good with math. However, I went and did my due diligence to get a better understanding of how these taxes actually work. And it's some scary shit. I watched 2 different creators break down how these taxes work. They gave hypothetical points, or they actually used the current tariffs as an example, and they mathematically show you why your prices, why everything has been priced up. Target and Walmart, they had things such as women's clothing, children's clothing, men's clothing on the shelves, and over the weekend, it was noticed that all the tags, all the price tags had been ripped off of all of these items at Walmart. You know how like the children's clothes, it'll have a little price tag at the bottom and you can actually fold it up to take it off, like if you were giving it to somebody as a gift? All of those tags had been forcibly removed by Walmart and Target staff. The reason for this is because the tariffs went into effect. So essentially, that $5 item is now going to be a $10 item, or maybe even a $15 item. It sucks. So what I noticed at Walmart was they had taken $9 items and they had moved them up to like $13 items, so $4. That's a huge jump. You're going to feel that. You're going to feel that. We've been feeling it for 4 years. Just when we thought shit couldn't get more expensive, the fence is hitting the shan. And it's probably going to get worse. Companies, retailers will take this opportunity, just like they did during COVID, to milk us. It's what they've been doing for 4 years. There is not one item on McDonald's or Taco Bell's menu that is worth $10. However, you can't even get a combo meal for less than $10. The price point for the product has not been matching for years. For years. Not to mention everything we get is made of crap. It just breaks. The quality and the price does not match. And it hasn't for years. And it's continuously getting worse. And it will. It's going to get worse. It's going to get really bad. I read a report this morning that said that it was talking about how if you live paycheck to paycheck, you're actually living a life of luxury. That's how bad it is. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, you're one of the lucky ones. That's how bad it is. And so many Americans do not recognize this. Their eyes are wide shut. Their eyes are shut. So for the past 3 days, I've noticed an influx of assisted living facilities that are preparing to kick residents out on the streets. I think somewhere around 60% of elderly patients receive Medicaid. And this is what I want to talk about this morning. It's really disturbing to me. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, this shit's gonna make me emotional. I have so many regrets. I mean, the alternative with Kamala Harris. Something that I'm starting to notice is that the Democrats are kind and help people because it looks good. It's not because they actually care. Neither party actually cares about us. But Republicans, they on a different level. They are cold-hearted. They are cold-hearted. You think the left was evil? Buckle in, bitches. I hope you bought a helmet. What's already begun will be far worse than what we saw the Biden administration do. And it's already began. So we saw an 18% increase in homelessness last year. Most of that, that is due to economic reasons. So we have approximately 750,000 homeless people currently. I would be willing to bet that it's a little over 1 million, probably closer to 1.2 million. The reason for that number is because the reason that I think it's bigger is because we can't get a general census with people that don't want to be contacted. A lot of these people go off grid. A lot of these people, specifically families of homeless people, where we're talking about a mother, a father, and children, they will not disclose, no matter what, that they are homeless because they are scared that the family unit is going to be ripped apart due to the fact that they are homeless. We have many more homeless, sober people that do not do drugs and alcohol by far than ones that do drugs and alcohol. Some of my favorite creators this week have highly disappointed me in their ignorance. Conservative creators who have no business talking about the homeless community and or people who struggle with drug addiction. You do not have skin in the game if you have not lived it, and you should not be talking on the subjects that you have not personally lived through. I am highly disappointed in some of my female and male conservative creators for the stupidity and their sheepish. They're sheep. You're sheep. You're bought and paid for. The moment you started repping, in my opinion, for a rapist, after it was discovered who he was, that was the moment I realized you were bought and paid for. This is why they tell you not to idolize your idols, right? So we had an 18% increase in homelessness last year. All right, so I don't even know where to begin. The big beautiful bill is cutting Medicaid. Essentially what's going to happen is those 60% of elderly people that receive Medicaid, a good portion of them do you see I can't even sit here and mind my business? I really need to know. If anybody in the Madison area has a single room for me to rent 5 days a week where I can come and work, yeah, I'm going to have an email up by this afternoon. Please email me. I need a quiet space to film. This is getting ridiculous. I have to make a living, and I care about things that, as you can see, most people don't. So we need to put that to use because I feel like not using it would be a waste. I do believe that around 60% of elderly people receive Medicaid, Medicare, okay, which is going to be cut. When that funding is cut, they're going to be kicked out on the streets. It's already began. It actually started back in May when I started looking into this. When this funding is cut, it's going to create a whole new problem. There's nowhere for these people to go. This is not India. This is not some South American country where people value family. Okay, this is the West, where we shit on the people that raise us and we turn our backs on them. And I say we because, yeah, been there, done that. Anytime I hear of a Westerner living with their parents or inviting their grandparents in, that's shocking to me, because it just doesn't happen like it used to happen. Like, the family unit is not whole anymore. Families are not thick as thieves, you know. Blood is not as thick as it used to be. It's sad. It's sad. The people that raise us here, we then put into a home and visit them once a year for Christmas. And maybe it's the fact that I've lost my whole family that I see things differently now. But it's disturbing to me how many people have family that they don't appreciate. And I have no family. Everybody's dead. That's life. We come, we go. It's disturbing to me how many of these people are going to end up on the streets. Not to mention, on top of that, so we have the elderly that are going to be disproportionately affected, because most of those patients are in assisted living facilities and they are accepting Medicare to house that patient. When that funding is cut, there's nowhere for them to go. And it gets worse. You think that's bad? You think elderly people being kicked out on the street is bad? Well, whole families. We saw a 36% increase in family homelessness in 2024. 36%. That is families. That is a mother, a father, and children, or a single mother and children, or a single father and children, or a grandmother and children, or, do you get it? Their families, their whole families. A 36% increase in 2024, last year. If you think that's bad, buckle in, bitch. HUD, homelessness funding, grants for the homeless, they're being cut 44% by July of 26. We have 7 million people that get low-income housing throughout the nation. 7 million. And that funding is being cut 44%. What do you think that's going to do? I'm not saying that we shouldn't tighten up, rein in the spending, figure out who the abusers of the system are. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do that. This is what I signed up for. Actually, it's not. I signed up to help these people. I signed up. I pushed for Trump because I believed that he was going to help people. I feel horrible because I know it's about to happen. I don't think most Americans know. They are outlawing homelessness. They are. You can be arrested for being homeless. Be arrested for sleeping in your car, sleeping on the street. They're enacting new laws across the nation. Have been since January. Yeah. Yep. So they are creating a problem that's going to create more problems. All of these people are going to be homeless next year. Potentially millions of people. Mind you that we only have approximately around 1 million right now. we only have approximately less than 1 million homeless people right now, and it's a huge national problem, what will happen if we have another 1 million to 5 million people out here on the streets? Because that's what we're looking at. And not to mention the job market. I hear that Tyson laid off their employees yesterday. Ain't that like the largest chicken manufacturer in like the world? What are they doing laying off their employees? Hospitals, lawyers' offices, all laying off. So I have a question. So we're going to reduce money going to Medicaid, Medicare, EBT, HUD, all of these things, right? And all of these people are going to be pushed out on the street. How are they supposed to work and get themselves off the street when there's no jobs? It is my belief that a lot of these people are going to be pushed into chronic homelessness. Do you realize that this lifestyle takes about 10 to 20 years off of your lifespan? Yeah, it sure does. Your life expectancy. You lose a good 10, 20 years depending on how long you've been out here. Chronic homelessness is years out here. And there's no jobs. And there's no jobs. And even if a person found 2 jobs making minimum wage, it would still not be enough to cover rent, power, water, and gas to work the next day. $280 a week. Do you get it? Even at $600 a week. Let's say they were working 2 full-time jobs, 80 hours a week. You still wouldn't be able to make it work. This is the country that we live in right now, you know? It's a shit show. It's only going to get worse. It really upsets me. It really does. I think what I've learned is that Democrats hide their dirt. Republicans don't. Republicans will fuck people over and then stand back and smile. That's what they're doing. I am disgusted. I am disgusted. So we saw an 18% increase in homelessness last year, but a 36% increase in homelessness in family units. So that would be a mother, a father, and some children. That was a 36% increase just last year. But the media will tell you that all of these people are on drugs and alcohol. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. We have more people that are sober, functioning members of society that are homeless than people on drugs and alcohol. That's a fact. Fact check me. Fact check me. Some of these conservative commentary, I literally have lost so much respect. So much respect. The fact that they don't know this, and you have millions of followers, and you're bought and paid for because you're too scared to have backbone. You say that you're a Christian. You say that you're a Christian, and then you rep for this bullshit. Family homelessness saw a particular sharp increase, rising by 39%. I'm sorry, I said 36, didn't I? 39%. This includes a significant rise in the number of children experiencing homelessness. Do you know how many children? Over 150,000 that we have homeless right now. Children facing homelessness saw a 33% increase last year. What do you think is going to happen when they cut the funding? If they're willing to kick elderly patients out that need medical help, what do you think they're going to do to the rest of us? And thank God I don't get HUD or anything. It's disturbing. It's disturbing. Republicans will do it right to your face. That's the difference between the right and the left. The left likes to hide their dirt. The Republicans, they'll do it right to your face, and they'll come up with some little loopy law so that they can do it. Both sides are the same. They're both evil. They're both complicit in evil, and they work together rather than work with their own damn party to help their own damn people. This report is the 2024 Annual Homelessness Assessment Report, and this report goes to Congress every single year. This is the main report that Congress sees that notifies them as to what is going on out here with the homeless population, okay? Let's talk about it, because so every 23 out of 10,000 people in the United States is homeless right now. The number of people experiencing homelessness on a single night in 2025 was the highest ever recorded. That includes the Great Depression, homie. I just need to... That includes the Great Depression. We have more people homeless now than we did during the Great Depression. Nearly all populations reached record level highs. Now that would be the elderly, youth, the disabled, veterans, able-bodied people that work, able-bodied people that can't find work. This is across the board. The highest numbers last year. Nearly all populations reached record level highs. Homelessness among people and families with children, individuals with chronic patterns of homelessness, people staying in unsheltered homes, people staying in sheltered locations, and unaccompanied youth all reached the highest record numbers in 2024. And I'm here to tell you that these numbers are about to double. There's no way that it's not. There's no way that it's not. I don't understand how people that are so much smarter than me, economists, presidents, I don't know, how could they not know what this is going to bring about? How could they not know? They know. They just don't give a fuck. People and families with children had the largest single year increase in homelessness. Between 2023 and 2024, 39% more people in families with children experienced homelessness. I guess they're all on drugs. I guess all those people with children are high on crystal meth. Because that's what the media is going to tell you. That's what the media is going to tell you. And I'm sick of it. And there is one female commentator that was running her fucking mouth yesterday. And listen, I just think people need to stay in their lane. It's disturbing. Nearly 150,000 children experienced homelessness on a single night in 24, reflecting a 33% increase, or 32,618 more children over 2023. Between 23 and 24, children under the age of 18 were at the age group that experienced the largest increase in homelessness. And if you've been here for a while, then you know the statistics on the foster care system. 65% of children who age out of the foster care system are immediately homeless. Veterans were the only population to report continued declines in homelessness. Well, that's interesting, because the media says that there's more of them out here than anybody else, and they're the ones struggling, and they're the ones we need to help, right? I'm not saying they're not, because you know that I have been a stiff advocate for veterans and mental health services for our veterans. Between 23 and 24, the number of veterans experiencing homelessness declined by 8%. The number of veterans experiencing homelessness has declined by 55% since data collection about veteran homelessness began in 2009. The deadlines in sheltered and unsheltered experiences of homelessness were similar, 56 and 54%. These declines are the result of targeted and sustained funding to reduce veteran homelessness. About 1 in every 5 people experiencing homelessness on a single night in 24 was over the age of 55. They've been priced out, you guys. Listen, a lot of these people bought their properties or they started renting their properties years ago, okay? 20, 30 years ago when rent was $200, $300, $400, $500 a month. COVID happened. Rent was raised. These people are on a fixed income. They cannot afford $2,000 in rent when they only make an $1,800 paycheck through Social Security. They've been priced out. If they go to look for something else, they would need approximately 10 grand first, last, security, and then moving cost. You're going to need $8,000 just to move in somewhere nowadays, approximately. And that's on the $2,000 a month range, but still, moving is expensive. Elderly people disproportionately are affected by these laws. The big beautiful bill, that's who this is going to hurt the most. The elderly, the poor, and the youth. I do not deny that we needed to cut spending. I don't object to cutting spending. But this is crazy. This is crazy. I really thought that, having to watch people in drag with their balls in a skirt was bad. You know what's going to be worse? Watching these streets littered with old people and youth that can't find work because there's no job. The country is collapsing. Those dominoes that I've been talking about for 2 years, yeah, they started falling over in January. People who identify as Black, African American, and African continue to be overrepresented. Overrepresented among the population experiencing homelessness. People who identify as Black made up 12% of the total U.S. population and 21% of the U.S. population living in poverty, but were 32% of all people experiencing homelessness. However, the share of people experiencing homelessness who identified as Black decreased. I'm sorry, y'all. This thing's hard to read. It ain't easy to read, and it's little words, too. So we have more Black people that are homeless than any other population. 1 in every 3 individuals experiencing homelessness have reported experience chronic patterns of homelessness. This is the highest number of individuals experience chronic patterns of homelessness count in the pit. Individuals experiencing chronic patterns of homelessness have increased by 27%. %65% of all individuals experiencing chronic patterns of homelessness were counted in unsheltered locations. This is also the highest number record since data collections began. Jesus fucking Christ, y'all. We are so fucking cooked. An 18% increase is insane, but a 39% increase is even more insane, and that's in families. Do you know when HUD is cut, who is going to be disproportionately affected? Families. Baby, you got to have children to even qualify. That's what those shelters, those HUD housings, those low-income apartments, you got to have children to even qualify and or be elderly or disabled. So when they cut the funding, those 3 categories is who's going to be kicked out on the street. Disabled, elderly, and families. I mean, it literally makes me want to cry, y'all. Y'all don't understand how much this bothers me. So this is why him and Elon was fighting over this bill. Elon said that this is a horrid mistake. And I have to agree with Elon. Elon said that this was going to make people poor and homeless. Homeless family comprise 34% of the homeless population. No, but I thought they was all on drugs, wanting alcohol. They all just need to be, yeah, that's another thing. They're going to involuntarily commit these people when they do pull them out of these homeless encampments. Can I just say that the amount of civil rights violations, I just can't even begin. I am not a very smart woman at all. At all. I have no formal education. I didn't finish my degree in college. How do I understand that this is a civil rights violation? That this is a federal civil rights lawsuit? And the billions of people seeing this put into action does not know this. I'm talking about outlawing homelessness. You cannot raise rent, creating a problem, affecting people who then have to move into cars, RVs, tents, sleeping on the street, and then pass and enact new laws to disproportionately lock up those people, involuntarily commit them, holding them indefinitely in some mental institution, and or, do you know the alternative? When the mental hospital clears them, do you know where they go then? To jail. The amount of civil rights violations and lawsuits that's going to pop off from this, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I can't wait till people start to sue. This is so wrong on so many levels. It's unbelievable. I can't even begin to scratch the surface on how wrong this is. Yes, they are outlawing homelessness. You cannot sleep in your car. You cannot sleep on a friend's private property. There's a woman that I follow who is a van lifer. Her name is Bunny and Beyond Van Life. She had a video this week that went absolute viral. It is called "They're Coming for Van Lifers, the True About the New Anti-Van Lifer Laws." As you can see, it's got over 250,000 views. I would highly recommend going and watching Bunny. Bunny has several videos talking about how they have enacted new laws, how they are passing new legislation from coast to coast to prevent people from not only living in their cars, but being able to access public and private land. There are new laws on the books that state that if you were my best friend and I want to come visit you in damn Idaho, when I get there, I can't sleep on your property but for 7 days. That is private property. When did the government decide that they had the right to tell us what we can do with private property that we own? You think this is a joke. You do not understand. And I'm not very smart, so I'm not very good at explaining these things. I just know what I know. I know what I know. I would recommend going and watching Bunny and Beyond. She can break it down for you more and explain these laws. The issue is now that we have elderly people, disabled people, and anyone that's getting low-income housing, funding for homelessness, funding for HUD, All of that's about to be cut next year. So we're going to see a lot more people out on the streets and a lot more people with children. Let's not forget that 39% increase in homelessness in families. They can't afford rent. They've been priced out. We're going to see, in my opinion, well over a 50% increase in all of these subcategories: the elderly, the youth, my age, people with disabilities, families. And then you have a whole nother category of homeless people that do drugs and alcohol. The majority of homeless people do not do drugs and alcohol. That's proven statistically. It's unfortunate that commentators would get on here not knowing this and give advice on something they have not lived themselves. But that's the world that we live in, and I'm highly disappointed. Highly disappointed. At what moment did I know that my favorite creator was bought and paid for? Yesterday. You know, and it's crazy because I really thought that she was one of the most wholesome, real, authentic. I really did not think that she would be the type of person to be bought and paid for, especially given the circumstances of her unfortunate leaving of her previous employer. I really thought that having her own channel, that she would speak truth. It's unfortunate that most people who have never done drugs and alcohol are under the impression that most homeless people do drugs and alcohol. It's crazy. It really is. Absolutely crazy. This problem is going to be huge next year. It's already huge now. Give me 1 second. So as I was saying, homeless families make up about 34% of the total homeless population. 34%. Do you think that all of those parents smoke crystal meth and drank for fun? And that's why they're homeless? Because I know otherwise. They wouldn't even have custody of their children if that was the case. So 34%. That'd be over 350,000 people. 340,000 people, approximately. And they say that we only have 750,000 people that are homeless. Do you get it? Approximately 1.6 million children will experience homelessness over the course of a year. In any given day, researchers estimate that more than 200,000 children have no place to live. And I guess all those 200,000 children on any given day, I guess they all smoke crack and drink alcohol too, right? I'm just saying this so that y'all can understand how preposterous it is to think that all homeless people are homeless because of drugs and alcohol. It really bothers me. It gets under my skin. You know why? Because when people have that assumption, those people are not being helped. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? People are easy to be compassionless and show no empathy towards people that they think put themselves in that situation. And I'm just here to tell you that the majority of homeless people simply cannot afford to keep up with the cost of living. So 84% of families experiencing homelessness are female-headed. This is due to a number of factors. Most single-parent families are female-headed, 71%. So these are a lot of single mothers out here struggling. Here's an idea. We actually create DV shelters that are geared towards helping single mothers develop skills and education to better position themselves to make money so that they are better stable. I feel like I just solved the world's problems with single mothers. It's not rocket science. And I'm sure some of you that believe that programs like that exist, I'm sure some of you are sitting there, they have that, Brooke. No, bless your heart. Stick around, baby. Just chill out for a little while. Take a seat. Sit in the back. Sit down. Shh. Bless your heart. As you'll see, if you watch Bunny and Beyond's video, she also touches on how modern society is under the illusion that there is all of these resources for these people, but there's not. And that's why I want you to please go watch Bunny's video. Please go watch her video. Highly intelligent, empathetic, compassionate. Love that woman. I've never met her. She does not know of me. Probably shouldn't be shouting her out, but she's out here doing the Lord's work, honey. The Lord's work. Do you hear me? She mentions how it's all lies, how there are no resources, there are no shelters, okay? So I'm finally glad that the tides are turning and that creators are being honest about their own experiences when dealing with these community programs that are designed to help people. It's all buffoonery. They collect $1 million in funding, grants, federal funding, donations, and none of that money goes to actually help people. It's been going on for years. It's a big business. If you're a scam artist, just like rehabs, just like hospitals. I mean, look at the amount of doctors' offices that are falsifying paperwork to rob Medicaid. We got doctors and nurses out here literally milking Medicaid under the table and going to jail for it. And you're surprised that a nonprofit would steal money and donations and grants from the government and civilians and then not help people? I don't think it's that far-fetched. I think that people need to wake up. Single-parent families are among the poorest in the nation, and as such are extremely vulnerable to homelessness. Many family shelters do not accept men into their program, causing families to separate when they become homeless. Families of color are overrepresented in the homeless population nationally. So we're looking at 43% are African American. 43% are African American, 15% are Hispanic, 38% are white, 3% are Native American. Families experiencing homelessness usually have limited education. So as we've talked about before, how poverty and crime go hand in hand, a lack of education, domestic violence, homelessness, poverty, these things go hand in hand as well. And this is why I gear people in the direction of a college education. Families experiencing homelessness usually have limited education. 53% of homeless mothers do not have a high school diploma. 29% of adults in homelessness families are working. You hear that? 29% are working. Sorry, I sounded like a conehead there. They're working. 42% of children in homeless families are under the age of 6. Jesus Christ. Over 92% of homeless mothers have experienced severe physical and sexual abuse during their lifetime. 63% reported this abuse was perpetrated by an intimate partner. Y'all, this makes me so sad. 1 out of every 4 homeless women is homeless because of violence committed against her. By age 12, 83% of homeless children had been exposed to at least one serious violent event. Almost 25% have witnessed acts of violence within their families. 15% have seen their father hit their mother. 11% have seen their mother abused by a male partner. Children who witness violence are more likely than those who have not to exhibit frequent, aggressive, and antisocial behavior, increased fearfulness, higher levels of depression and anxiety, and have a greater acceptance of violence as a means of resolving conflict. And this is exactly why Brooke's a felon. I witnessed my family fighting. I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you it was learned behavior. That's where I get these hands from. Learned behavior. Alright, so we got the elderly people being kicked out of assisted living facilities, rest homes, because Medicare is being cut. Then we got the HUD, low-income housing, homelessness, money. Any money that went to support homelessness, any money that went towards HUD to cover those Section 8 apartments, all of that's being cut 44% by next July. Well, on top of all of that, as I'm sure you've already noticed if you actually grocery shop, shit's getting expensive again. I mean, it never got cheap again. It's just getting more expensive again. Expect that to get worse. One other thing, people are defaulting on their car payments. This is usually a telltale sign of a recession. They are. One out of 4, 1 out of 5 Americans are defaulting on their car payments right now. That is usually a telltale sign of a recession or shit about to hit the fan. You know, it's crazy because it's like everything that they're going through, I went through 4 years prior. And all of my dominoes, you know, my life imploded because of this recession that we've been living in, this silent recession, depression. Y'all know what? Y'all want to hear something crazy? I took the motorcycle exam online and I passed the first time. That's a skilled fucking driver right there. That's the one, boy. Yeah, I sure did. Took my motorcycle exam and passed the first time. I made a 78.46. I'll take it. Yeah, I have an appointment to do that. If I'm gonna get some kind of bike, I need a bike license, so I don't know, man. I make plans and then shit hits the fan, you know? So, here in North Carolina, Rockingham County actually passed a law. You cannot stay overnight on your own land unless there is a house on that land. The sheriff informed me and several others with fines. I sold the land and stay in hotels with friends while in North Carolina, but never in Rockingham County. There's another lady. Damn it. There's another van lifer. I can't find her. Y'all, what the hell happened at that military base? And, you know, let me show you something. Sometimes people just look unwell. His eyes are so close together. He's a milli-inch away from being a damn cyclops. So this is the shooter. We had an active shooter situation. at a Army military base yesterday. This asshole decided to kill his brothers. Let's talk about it. Since I got you on the line, honey. Mass shooting at military base yesterday. It was initially reported, damn it, that there was 8 people injured. But it looks like there was 5, and it was at Fort Stewart, which is an Army base, I do believe. So he was actually an Army sergeant. He's in custody. Wow, he allegedly used his personal handgun to shoot 5 fellow soldiers the morning at Fort Stewart military base in Georgia. So it looks like 5 wounded soldiers are in stable condition and expected to recover. So he's a horrible shot. That's all it says. It doesn't give me a motive. It don't tell me shit. I'm sick of this. We have every right to know what the hell was wrong with this guy. I think his name is Cornelis Radford. Five American soldiers were injured after an Army sergeant opened fire at a military base in the U.S. state of Georgia before him being tackled by other troops. He opened fire with his own personal handgun and was targeting his fellow troops. I think it would be easier to shoot a stranger than it would be to shoot someone that I've known, even if it was like an employer or a coworker. Seriously though, do you know the level of detachment that you have to have psychologically to kill what is supposed to be your brothers? That is your family. That's what they teach you when you go in. And I understand that these people are humans and they're going to have squabbles, and there's probably all kinds of freaking drama that goes down on these bases. I don't even want to know. But the level of psychological detachment to shoot people that you have had a close personal relationship with for maybe years. I'm just saying, his eyes are so close together, he looks like the type. Something wasn't right. That's all I'm saying. He looks like the type. So the attack at Fort Stewart, about 240 miles southeast of Atlanta, triggered a lockdown at the Army base. And this is a huge-ass base, by the way. Huge. All 5 soldiers who were shot are being treated for their injuries. They're in stable condition. So it looks like he's never even deployed. You ain't never deployed and you acting stupid like this? I was really expecting, he deployed to Afghanistan in 2011 and 2013 and 2015 we sent him to Kuwait, and then in 2016 we sent him to Japan, and then no. This sorry sack of an excuse of a soldier ain't never even been deployed. Hey, Brennan. It's Brennan. Thank you. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a great Thursday. Oh, God. For real, he ain't got no excuse. And I'm not saying that going to war gives you an excuse. I'm just saying that this is the type of crime we would see with somebody who maybe had PTSD. So, y'all, I done messed up. Mass shootings are sometimes done by people who are suffering with severe PTSD. That is common. But this little shit ain't never... Maybe his mama slapped him. Maybe that's what happened. I don't understand. The pistol that was used in the attack was not military issued, and officials are investigating how he was able to bring it onto the base. He's 28 years old. He was an automated logistics sergeant who was part of the 2nd Brigade combat team based in Fort Stewart. He's never been deployed to combat. He was sued by other soldiers. He's now being interrogated. Was it personal beef? Did he have an argument with one of his fellow soldiers? I mean, for all we know, one of the other soldiers was screwing his girlfriend. I don't know. You know, they don't tell us nothing. You know, was to end some passive-aggressive co-worker squabble at work. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. And which, by the way, that is the first time we've ever had that happen. A mass shooting on a military base. First time. So it looks like Cornelis Cementero Radford. He's 28. He was born March 1997. I got his voter registration thing. It looks like he was part of the Florida Democratic Party. I got this from, I think his name's Adam Francisco. Anyways, another creator. This is the shooter's party affiliation status. So it looks like he was part of the Democratic Party. I don't know if that makes a difference, but anytime these things start to pop off, that's the first thing the public goes and does, is a little bit of research into people's past, their voter registries. Jesus Christ. So one good thing that I saw that happened this week is that they're actually banning the purchase of sodas for SNAP beneficiaries. Let me make sure this is nationwide. The number one bought item for people who get EBT is actually soda, which is crazy because I don't even drink soda like that. That's crazy. But yeah, the number one purchased item with EBT food stamps is soda. Nationwide. In 2026, more than six states will restrict the purchase of soda and other junk food for SNAP Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Programs. This change comes after the USDA granted waivers allowing states to limit the types of food that can be bought with SNAP funds. So it looks like West Virginia, Florida, Colorado, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and Texas. These states joined 6 others that previously received waivers, bringing the total to 12 states restricting SNAP purchases of items like soda and candy. I don't know why they could purchase those items anyways. They're not food. Supplemental Food and Nutrition Program. Food and nutrition. Food and nutrition. I'm sorry. There is not one ingredient in any soda that is food or nutritious. Same thing that goes with a candy bar. It's not food or nutritious. That is dessert. It's refined sugar. It's diabetes in a Snickers. I'd rather be hangry, okay? Call me crazy. I'd rather be hangry than to eat a damn Snickers. I do love Snickers, though. So, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Colorado, Florida, and West Virginia. Indiana and Nebraska, for example, are both banning soft drink purchases. It's crazy. And then we wonder why the majority of these people are overweight. You know, the majority of food stamp recipients are overweight. So it looks like Louisiana is one of those places too. A waiver has been approved to restrict the purchases of sodas, energy drinks. They can get energy drinks? Lord have mercy. In Louisiana, the waiver was signed by the U.S. Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke L. Rowlands, Monday, August 4th. So, ooh, yes. Let me tell you what the governor had to say. Quote, gone are the days of taxpayers subsidizing unhealthy eating lifestyles and eating habits. With today's waiver signing, I'm proud to say that Louisiana isn't just participating in the MAHA movement. We are leading it. Thank you. What is that? MAHA. Hold on. MAHA movement. Ooh, 15 hours ago, Fox News, junk food banned from SNAP benefits in more than 6 states, a win for MAHA advocates. What is MAHA? Oh, make America great and healthy again. Make America healthy again. I'm like, what is MAHA? It sounds like a drink. I want one. Double the tequila, please. MAHA. Make America healthy again. Oh, honey, you hit the curb. Damn, girl. She's gonna eat the curb. Alright. And a win for Make America Healthy Again. Advocates in more than 6 states have gotten waivers allowing them to ban soda, candy, and other high-sugar junk foods from being purchased through the federally funded and state-operated Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP. So they ain't going to be able to buy candy, sugar, sweets. Won't be able to buy it. I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I think this big, beautiful bill is going to turn into a big, damn beautiful mess. Not a beautiful mess, a big, disastrous mess. All these people, you know, old people getting kicked out on the streets. Where are they going to go, y'all? They can't damn bicycle 20 miles a day for food and water like I do. It's heartbreaking. It really is. You know, I don't remember any of this in the project. What was that project? What was that project thing? Remember? Project. And they were all freaking out about it. It's a mess. The bill should be separate instead of lumping everything together. Exactly, Chad. Chad Harris, exactly. And that's why I'm so upset about my favorite creators. Conservative creators, they're lumping everybody together. They're saying, oh, Trump signed this bill, he's going to make sure all of these people that have mental health problems are involuntarily committed. Do you know that you can't help somebody that doesn't want help? You can involuntarily commit these people. You can involuntarily put them somewhere, but unless they want help, it's not going to work. So what are you just going to house them indefinitely until they die in a state mental ward? Or a jail? And how does that work legally speaking? Because that's what the bill is designed to do. The bill says that they are to go into these homeless encampments, break up the homeless encampment, clean it up, and then they are supposed to involuntarily commit these drug addicts. And after the drug addict is released from the hospital, they're then supposed to put them into the county jail. Well, the county jail can't house them unless they have pending charges. It's not a temporary holding facility for homeless people. It does not even make sense. The bill does not make sense. There's no clear-cut answers to how things, policy and procedure should be. You're absolutely right, Chad. They lumped everybody together, and so many people are going to be hurt because of that. Because the majority of homeless people do not do drugs and alcohol, statistically speaking. It's crazy that people believe this. It's crazy that people are living through high inflation, high rent prices, high gas prices. It's crazy to me that most Americans cannot afford to live right now, but their dumbasses truly believe that the majority of homeless people do drugs and alcohol. You're literally one paycheck away from being on the streets, Susan. We're in a little bit of a pickle, Dick. It's not good. They do. They absolutely lump these people together. You're absolutely right, Chad. There needs to be distinction, is that the word? Between the different subcategories of homelessness. And you know what's crazy? Is we're going to sit here and we're going to watch that big, beautiful bill cut HUD and funding over 44%, and we're going to watch hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, families, elderly, youth be kicked out on the street, and the general population will still have the same attitude that all of those people do drugs and alcohol. Nobody will learn shit. They never do. Not unless it's by choice. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yeah, it's a mess, y'all. My heart breaks. That 39% increase in homeless families, that might double. I said 50%, but when talking about the families, that's a whole subcategory of homelessness, and I'd be willing to bet that that'll get up to 80%. Yeah, this town, they don't see many homeless people, but they better get used to it, because with this funding getting cut, a lot of people are going to be right here. So, and elderly people too. There's living facilities in this town. I'm trying to finish this coffee so we can go find a bathroom. This could not happen at the worst time. I don't think that people understand that the job market, these people are going to be kicked off their property and kicked out of their homes, some of which have been there for 10, 20, 30 years. They'll kick them out, tell them to go get a damn job. There are no jobs. This could not happen at the worst. This is literally the worst case scenario. A non-existent job market and millions of people being forcibly removed from their home. for God's sakes, you know, I saw the military asking for public donations for their food bank on a military base. Military families who see a fairly decent income, they're struggling to feed their children. So Tyson Foods yesterday laid off over 5,000 employees. Tyson Chicken, for those that don't know, historically has been, I mean, it's historically one of the most popular chicken brands here in the West. Tyson Chicken, right? Been around for decades, okay? They're shutting down some of their processing plants, and in the process, they laid off over 5,000 employees yesterday. Actually, 7,707 jobs. This was after they laid off 900 employees earlier in Kansas. I mean, really though. Hold on. How much is Tyson Chicken worth? Almost $20 billion. They're worth almost $20 billion, and they are shutting down their chicken plants and laying off almost 10,000 people. I'm sorry. I don't think it's because of sales, because regardless, they're going to make their money because people have to eat. So what does that mean? When we have the largest chicken manufacturer historically, going back for decades, shutting down their plants and closing up shop. Scary shit, man. All of it. All of it. Everything that's happening right now is setting up for complete failure. We're about to implode. You think the last 4 years was rough under Biden? Whew. I've made my prediction. I think the next 4 years will be economically the hardest thing we've ever been through. I think we've made a poor decision. I think we traded a pedo for a rapist. In my opinion. New applications for unemployment benefits totaled over 226,000 in early August. And as you know, month after month, we've had around 1 million people applying for unemployment benefits. Around 250 to 280,000 people a week that are being laid off. They're going back into the job market and they're applying for unemployment. Yeah, I think back in May we had over 1 million people. Yeah, and we only added 113,000 jobs, I do believe, that month. So if we have 1 million people that were laid off and only 113,000 jobs being added, where does the other 900,000 people go work? Do you see what I'm saying? 870-something thousand. The number of people who applied for unemployment benefits in the 7 days ended in August 2nd and rose by 7,000 to 226,000 Thursday. The weekly claims report continues to suggest that the U.S. job market is stable. It's not getting better, but it's getting much, much worse. Yeah, that's what I've been telling you for 4 years. The number of jobless workers collecting unemployment benefits, meanwhile, climbed from 38,000 to 1.9 million, the highest level since 2021. I told you. Fucking knew it. 1.97 million, almost 2 million. It has not been that bad since COVID, honey. We're cooked. Oh, well, Govey, they're laying off place. Nordisk. Wagovi, the people that make Wagovi, they're talking about they are going to lay people off from the manufacturing plants. Oh, another sector that I saw was being hit was hospitals. Hospitals, nurses are being laid off, doctors are being fired, schools, teachers are quitting, and if they're not quitting, then they're just straight perverts. There was another sector that I found interesting, and I can't remember. First responders, nurses, doctors, and school teachers. They're all losing their jobs. They're being laid off. If they're not laid off, then they're just quitting. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. What is going on? 35 million cut the food stamps. Yep. That's another thing, like, I don't know. I feel like there needs to be a monitoring process for food stamps. 34 minutes ago, Microsoft has now cut an additional almost 4 jobs. They've been laying off. Oh, I saw that Panera Bread, they're going to be changing the formula of their bread. Instead of baking it in home, they're going to be changing some stuff, and they're laying off a bunch of workers. They also have recently closed a few stores. Listen to this. This is out of Houston, Fox 26. Panera franchise collapses in Houston. Lawsuits, layoffs, and millions owed. 15 Houston area Panera Bread stores are closed after the franchise filed for bankruptcy. Hundreds of workers are now left jobless. The franchisee owes over $10 to $50 million to the creditors. Chad Rainey was an assistant general manager at one of them. He says he moved locations for promotion in the company, and shortly after, on his birthday, he was told that the store was closing and he no longer had a job. Welcome to the new job market. There's 15 stores with 40 to 60 employees per store. Were all fired, laid off. He said, I'll be on the street. I have no vehicle, no nothing. Me and my wife will be on the street. Now he's homeless. He was just the manager of a Panera Bread, and now he's homeless. But, him being on the street, it probably actually, he was probably smoking meth, and that's what led to him being laid off, right? It was his drugs and alcohol problem that led to the Panera Bread him being laid off from the Panera Bread. I'm just trying to drill home how ridiculous it is and simple-minded and ignorant to think that every single homeless person does drugs and alcohol, because they don't. They don't. Statistically speaking, they don't. The majority can't afford rent. The majority can't keep up with the cost of living. The majority don't even make enough to freaking get a 1-bedroom apartment. Do you know what minimum wage is in the state that I'm in? After taxes, you see $5 an hour. It's $7 an hour, and after taxes, you might see $5.50. That's $280 a week. 40 hours. That's groceries, homie. That's groceries. Some people come from such privilege and they don't fucking know it. And they need to learn to keep their mouth shut because they ain't got no skin in the game. Unless you've been homeless, a drug addict, and can't keep up with this economy, you shouldn't be reporting on these things because you know nothing about them. I am so disappointed in my favorite creator, y'all. So disappointed. I don't know if I'm ever going to listen to her again. The sheer ignorance that she displayed, it made me physically ill. I did not know that she felt that way. It's disturbing. Either someone put her up to saying those things, she was bought and paid for, or either she's ignorant and she's not the person I thought she was. So it looks like Peloton, they're going to be laying off people. RDO, equipment, they're laying off. I mean, everybody's laying off. Everybody. Who's hiring? Nobody. Who's laying off? Everybody. Oh. I mean, this is the agriculture field. And they're laying off. I'm just... A new analyst from the Congressional Budget Office estimates a staggering 16 million people would lose health insurance under the House-passed budget reconciliation bill. This includes nearly 11 million Americans who will lose Medicaid and 5 million who will lose access to the Affordable Care Act policies. For context, under the failed House and the Senate 2017 ACA repeal bills, 23 and 16 million people would have become uninsured respectively. Then, as now, such losses would be catastrophic. The CBO finds the bill would reduce federal health care spending by over $1 trillion. Medicaid would bear the brunt of the cuts at $864 billion, with harmful work requirements alone accounting for $344 billion. This would also slash SNAP by $267 billion, causing millions to lose food assistance they need to afford groceries and meet other basic needs. For both programs, the outlined cuts would be the largest in history. Notably, the CBO is likely overseeing these savings as the analyst does not contemplate the reverberations of becoming uninsured. Lack of affordable care has long been linked to worse outcomes of higher costs for individuals and the system. Without insurance, people may delay or skip care due to cost barriers, y'all know, their conditions. For Americans who make the least amount of money, its tax changes would not outweigh its cuts. Their household resources would decrease by 4%. For those individuals and families, its tax changes would not outweigh its cuts. Their household resources would decrease by 4%. Americans who make the most, however, would see their finances increase by that same share of 4% due to the windfalls in lower taxes. Y'all, this has got me so stressed out. I want to cry. You know, a small portion of these people that get subsidized housing, they actually are not functioning very well, okay? They don't have the capacity to function on a normal level like you and I. A lot of these people have disabilities that makes it impossible for them to function on a normal level like you or I. It's scary to think that people who already have disabilities, whether they're physical or mental, will be pushed out here on the streets where they have no resources. But that's what's going to happen. That's what's already happening. This is not what I agreed to. I guess the difference between Republicans and Democrats is Republicans are straight up heartless. They'll do their dirt straight to your fucking face. Democrats like to hide it. They're out in the open with it and they don't even care. This bill is going to be one of the most detrimental pieces of legislation that's ever been passed in our nation's history. Elon was right. He's crazy, but he's right. This is exactly what him and Trump got in an argument about, the big beautiful bill. He said that it was going to be disastrous, and Trump's administration said that it wouldn't be. So we're about to see the effects of that bill play out with all of these people even worse than when they started off. There's some creep walking around back there, y'all. I don't know what's going on, but I gotta use the bathroom and I ain't got time for no shenanigans today. He's got like Maryland tags and like he's done walked and like stared at me, and then he walked across the street and stared at me, and then he walked across the street and stared at me, and now he's standing over there staring at me. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna use the bathroom and try to mind my business. Tony, I know, I know, everybody's feeling it. Everybody's pissed about the grocery prices going up, and I agree with everybody. Hello? I mean, so now they're going to milk everybody and say that it's the tariffs. They're going to raise the prices on everything, and it is the tariffs. It is. But like, y'all, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just know that the items that we buy are not already, they're not worth what we pay for them. Think about a McDonald's combo. I don't even know how much it is for like a quarter pounder with cheese and like fries and a soda, but I would assume it's like $11-12. That only cost them a few bucks to make. We've been going through this for years. The amount of times that I've literally pointed out the cost of making something in comparison to what I paid for it. I mean, I do that all the time. We've been getting ripped off since COVID. They figured out a formula to rob us all, and they perfected it during COVID. And the prices just keep going up. And they say, oh, it's harder to get it, or oh, it's harder to make, or oh, we had to change this part of the product, and so it's more expensive now. And they formulated the perfect way to scam us during COVID. And now it's taken off, and we can't put a stop to it. Now the tariffs are coming, and everything's getting more expensive. Items are quadrupling in price, doubling in price at the very least. We made an oopsie, folks. I mean, the alternative was Kamala Harris. How much better do you think life would be under her? I think we're cooked. I'm just saying, I think we're cooked, okay? Ugh. 100%. I was going to get off alive, but I'm going to ride away from this person before. And then I'll get off alive, because this guy, I don't know if he's like trying to look at a property or something, but he's kind of creeping me out a lot. Oh, I gotta put this side on first, because this side is the side that hit the ground hardest. It's got all the road burn. Oh, we're gonna change the wounds later, and I'll show you what it looks like. It looks better than it did now that I've got it all cleaned up. Oh. Ouch, my shoulder. Okay, he's leaving. People creep me out, y'all. They really do. Well, he left, so I'm gonna go. He left, so that's good. Oh, thank you, Lisa C. I hope you have a great day. Yeah, y'all, I think it's gonna be an absolute mess, and it really truly upsets me. I can just think about it and bust out in tears, because I know how hard it is out here, and a lot of these people that are gonna be thrown out on the streets, they're not like me. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying, people are going to die. This is going to lead to people dying. That's what I mean. I can handle physically, walking and having to, take on the physical aspect of meeting my basic needs every day. But a lot of people won't be able to do that. And there are not resources for them. There's not resources for most homeless people. It makes me angry that this money is donated, gifted, granted, federally funded, and then no people are helped. But that's the system that we have built. It's just like the justice system. There's no justice in the justice system. Well, there's no homeless people being helped in the homeless sector. Okay? This is a multi-million-dollar industry. And people have learned how to use it to scam. It just is what it is, It just breaks my heart. Because people are going to die. They will. I love you guys, and we'll talk soon. I might work out this afternoon. I'm going to try to get my day going. And I hope you guys have a great day. Oh, you must be rich. Steven's rich. Oh, God, I love you guys. And pray for all the people that's going to be disproportionately affected by the big, beautiful bill that's going to cause a big mess. Okay? Because it's already started. I love you guys. And, let me know. Let me know if you like paying more for your items, because some guy wants to have a pissing contest with other countries over tariffs. because it sounds juvenile to me. If you care about the citizens, then why not do things that help them? It's as simple as that, you know. It's as simple as that. What we're seeing is the writing on the wall. Both parties are corrupt. Both parties only care about themselves, and they do not care about the people that vote for them. It is what it is. I love you guys, and we'll talk this afternoon. And y'all be safe. And anyone name dropping will be blocked. Y'all be safe and pray for me. God knows I need it, and I'm praying for you guys. Happy Thursday!